Okay, so this is about Vermeer's use of two mirrors. We've actually had to remove the second mirror so you can see what the setup is like. But what is really amazing about Vermeer's actual studio is that it's very small. It needn't be more than about 3 meters, that is 10 foot deep. And he was a man who had a large family. He lived in the house of his mother-in-law. He couldn't possibly have afforded the huge studio that's needed for him observing direct with most people think he used a camera obscura. I know he used a camera obscura to view light out of focus. Very interesting, and he painted it with incredible accuracy, but he didn't use it for the whole composition. Two mirrors is very much more interesting, and there's good evidence in the majority of Vermeer's work that he actually used two mirrors. One of the interesting things about a 17th century mirror is that it was backed with silver rather than mercury. And in order to preserve the reflective quality of silver, you had to cover it with a heavy curtain in order for light not to get at it. As in photography, light turns silver black. And so after about 3 or 4 years, a 17th century mirror starts to lose quite a lot of light. And so it was their practice always to cover the mirror when they weren't using it. And you see that cover, the kind of carpet-heavy curtain across the mirror in this painting, the artist in his studio. I use this as it's Vermeer's biggest and most important painting. He never sold it during his lifetime. It stayed in his studio and was, as far as I'm concerned, it's a cryptic description of how he worked. I started by looking at this. I asked myself, how did he see himself in back view? And quite clearly, he would need a mirror on his easel, more or less, and he would need another bigger mirror behind him. And we actually have a very good description of that bigger mirror, because in this, the love letter, you think you're looking through a doorway, but in fact, there's that heavy curtain that I was talking about. And if you look at the frame, it's quite clearly a mirror frame, not a door frame. So the mirror on his easel there. It's never painted in, but it's clearly necessary to his view. I mean, the wonderful thing about two mirrors, of course, is that the image gets turned back the right way round. And so when he looks at his subject matter direct, and when he looks at it in the mirror, they're almost exactly the same. Not exactly the same, but they're very, very close to one another. Now, we made 3 films about Vermeer because there's so much controversy about how he achieved his miraculous paintings. I mean, there's no doubt that Vermeer is the great painter of light. He does it with incredible accuracy and very unlike many other painters. His whole approach to the pattern of light across form is unlike the usual painter who's been trained in the Italian method, so to speak. And so from every point of view, there's a hell of a lot of evidence in Vermeer's whole output that talks about two mirrors, the use of two mirrors. And it is the use of two mirrors that allows, he's actually sitting in the picture space. That's the difference between him and every other painter.